I'd like to take a second to welcome NHL All-Star John Scott to St. John's, Newfoundland.
Woo! Go, John Scott.
Yeah. You like that? You like that? You like that? I like that. You like that?
You gotta like that, right?
You're listening to the Clubhouse.
At CHMR.
Oh, get in the fast lane, Grandma. The bingo game is ready to roll.
Take me to the dance. Kick up your heels.
It happened. It happened.
Welcome.
Oh, yes. I say we'll talk about John Scott later on.
So thanks for that welcome
Yeah.
for John Scott in the province.
We'll save that for the end of the show. We got
plenty of conversation about him later in the show. I assume that's going to be one of the biggest segments or top topics today. And but in other news,
yes,
guess who's back?
Yeah.
Your voice just like shook. At the end of that.
Special guest Mitch is back in studio. He's gonna talk some Sparts.
Silly Mitchell.
Talk some Sparts. Talk some controversy.
We don't talk about sports on this show. We talk about Sparts.
Right. Hashtag Sparts.
Sparts.
That makes it sound like a Spartan thing, but it's
No.
Could be.
It could be if they were killing each other. What do we have on the agenda?
Speaking of killing each other, let's talk about boxing.
Boxing.
Some vicious knockouts.
This past weekend on Showtime Championship Boxing, Deontay Wilder knocked out Artur Szpilka.
I like the name.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Artur Szpilka.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
One more time, please.
I know. I will not be bullied on live.
I'm not bullying
on
you.
the airwaves of CHMR.
Say it.
I really want you to say it.
Say Szpilka. Oh look, I just
Say it. Do it. Finish it.
All right, so the fight was it was quite boring actually, and I got a bone to pick.
Yes.
I got a bone to pick with Canada's sports leader TSN.
Ooh.
So TSN posted.
Are you picking a fight that we can't win?
Yes, I am.
The underdog.
We're on college radio.
Listen, I feel like this is our voice. It's not hostile.
No.
The article that TSN posted, it was regarding Deontay Wilder's win, and stating that heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder looks absolutely unstoppable in victory over Szpilka. So this is the guy's second title defense. He won the title as a vacant title against Berman Stavern, so he didn't. He didn't take it.
He wasn't fighting a champion.
So, I mean, technically he is a champion, but the fight was very close against Szpilka, and like he was his first contender, and the fight was actually kind of like it was close, and Wilder looked pretty bad at some points. Yeah. Wilder's footwork always looks bad. So, basically, what I'm saying is, watch the fight before you put up the news article.
But hands down, they're just basing that on his track record of knocking everyone out.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
This guy knocks everybody out.
He must have ridiculous power.
Yeah, and literally knocks everyone except one person out. I believe right now his record is 31-0, 30 by way of knockout.
That's crazy.
There's one fight that didn't go the distance. Did go the distance.
Is there any legit contender now? Like, is there?
Yeah. Our boy Tyson Fury.
There we go.
Tyson Fury. And
do you think he's gonna beat him?
Beat Wilder?
No, I mean the other way around. Do you think Wilder's actually gonna manage to beat Tyson Fury?
I hope not.
Because I don't think so.
Last week we talked. Actually, every week we talk about Tyson Fury.
He gets a lot of love on the show. He really does.
Are you guys getting him?
Do we what?
Are you guys getting him on?
Next week.
We're bringing him. We're bringing him in the studio.
Mitch, you're fired.
That's a lie, guys.
We're not.
Don't believe anything they say.
No, we're not. We don't have that kind of pull.
You can't fire me.
I got something fun to play for you guys right now. Now it's funny because Mitch was only with us recently. 2 weeks ago, you were with us, and me and Josh were on our own. We had a good show last week, but I want to play a little clip how we started off the show.
Okay.
You guys ready for this?
I can't remember this. So
okay, here we go.
Scared.
Yeah.
Previously on this program.
Newfoundland's only sports talk radio show.
As far as I know.
I don't know any other ones. There's definitely there's got to be a couple.
There got to be one at least on CBC out there somewhere.
Definitely.
Guys, isn't there another one on this station?
Shout out to him.
I feel bad now.
Very professional.
Very.
Boys.
But yeah, that's what happened last week on the show, and it was,
I like the amount of work that went into that.
thank you. I
I
appreciate it.
really do.
It was a nice little recap. I thought I'd do something special this week.
Just to call yourselves out one more time.
Yeah, just to make everyone else, especially TSN, the network that I called out, more aware of my mistakes.
I just really appreciate how saucy I was.
Guys,
good.
just to throw it out there.
I'm literally here to keep you guys in check.
Yeah.
That's all.
Someone's got to.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I feel like I should vindicate myself and say, we are one of Newfoundland's fine sports talk radio shows.
Yes.
One amongst many.
One of two.
Kudos to the other guys, all right? Kudos to the other guys.
God.
What happened in the NFL this week, guys?
Football.
Yeah.
They threw it. They kicked it.
They threw the ball and they caught the ball and they ran the ball into the end zone. Touchdown.
Points were scored.
Touchdown winning team.
I'll read you out a couple of scores here now. Chiefs put up 20 against the Patriots, winning 27. The Packers fell against the Cardinals. Cardinals 26, Packers 20.
Unfortunately.
Broncos got a victory over the Steelers. Broncos 23, Steelers 16. The Panthers and the Seahawks was an interesting game. Panthers winning 31 over the Seahawks 24.
That game wasn't even as close as I think the score.
Mm-hmm. No, it wasn't.
No.
It was, like I said, it was interesting because the Panthers were dominating early,
Oh, they
and
dominated.
the Seahawks kind of scraped up those points.
Yeah, no, those Panthers are sitting back, trying to just coast
Yeah.
on their built
Did
lead.
they rest Cam Newton at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
Don't quote me on that though.
I remember seeing him, I watched a bit of the game, I remember seeing him give at least 2 footballs to kids in the stands.
Yeah.
So,
What a guy.
that's at least 2 touchdowns he was there for.
I think those were early on though.
Yeah.
Well, he was there.
He did it anyway.
I'd hope so.
Just a side note, guys, I would like to say I just got a text message from my mom that says, "You go, girl, keep them in check." So at least I have one supporter behind
Listening to the show,
keeping
cheering
you
on.
guys in check. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it that you're behind me 100%.
That's good too, 'cause she at least got one listener.
All right. If you always want to communicate with the show, feel free, Clubhouse CHMR on Twitter. But I think right now, do you think we should go into some music, guys? No? Yes?
You looked at me and
That's
I
a
wasn't.
question.
I wasn't. You looked at me like I was the one to make the decision.
Is this
and I
my
was just
debut?
saying, I'm like,
This show is ran as a collective. We're not just one person. But
okay,
either way,
I say we have a vote if we should go to musical break.
I go for I.
Okay, I.
If I can sing.
we're going in anyways.
All right.
Here's some Sloan.
You know, this is really your chance to be an armchair quarterback.
You're listening to the Clubhouse.
Josh, when you were watching the game on Saturday,
Yes.
were you an armchair quarterback?
I was maybe an armchair quarterback. I was more of an armchair sad person.
So, for those who don't know, Josh is an avid Cardinals fan.
I'm not at
Um,
all. I'm a Packers fan.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers was pretty impressed with that game. I don't think they have too much to be, they lost the game. They're out of the playoffs, but I mean,
I don't want to. This is not the Packers show, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But the Packers, it's been a tough season for them anyway because they've been just ravaged with injuries.
banged up.
But even in that game, like you saw Aaron Rodgers as one of the best quarterbacks in the game because he managed to push that game to overtime. And 2 great Hail Mary passes,
Yeah.
So that's just good for the game. Like it doesn't matter whether or not you're a Packers fan or not. It doesn't matter what. Like just to see that is amazing.
The Hail Marys that's excitement.
Oh my
That's just
gosh.
exciting football, regardless who throws it.
Always. The
Now,
teams-
as long as it's received,
Yeah.
of course.
At the same time though, it's not full
It's not sophisticated
skill.
football.
No, it's luck.
Yeah.
It's called a
is.
Hail Mary for a reason.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
and
last
that's,
minute.
That's what makes it. That's the appeal, I think.
That's
Oh.
what makes it so exciting is that
Yes.
it's like, this is your only chance and there's it's
Yeah.
going to hit or it's going to not and there's nothing you can do about it.
I'd say so. Like I don't know. Like also, I feel like it is harder to make a pass,
Yep.
even like with pinpoint accuracy at the farther distance like that.
Right.
Like to take into consideration, especially with wind and everything. Like a shorter pass, something that you're throwing more direct, you're gonna have more control over than something that you're just.
But it's like we were saying with it's not finesse football.
Yeah.
It's not skilled football per se.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a strong arm.
But it's a strong arm, and to make sure that ball lands where your player is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you saw the second one, the one that was the touchdown pass, like it was Janet. I think it was Janice that caught it, but he was literally right between two Cardinals defenders.
Yeah.
So it was like how he honestly just fell into position. Like the pass was just short to the point where he can just walk into position and catch it right before they were right behind him.
So if you were to rate the Green Bay Packers season out of 10, what would it be in terms of potential?
In terms of potential?
Yeah.
Oh, they could have easily gone. I think they could have easily gone to the NFC or sorry, the chip. Like they could have played. They could be playing the Panthers right now, but it's hard to tell because like this season was it was weird in spurts. Like they started the season great. I think it was a six game win streak before they lost a game.
Yeah, it was. I remember they were one of the remaining 4 or 5 undefeated teams.
So they started out great, and then they had a slump. They lost a few games. They lost a lot of players, injuries. So it kind of jumped around, and then they won a couple, lost a couple. It was really weird. And then they got in the playoffs. They played well. They surprised me. I thought they weren't going to do well in the playoffs.
And of course, something everyone hates is the injuries that go along with
exactly
the whole rough season of football.
But really, congrats to the Cardinals because they deserve to be where they are too. They've had a great season.
That's what we love to hear, Josh.
They've had a great season, and I like to see I think the Cardinals and the Panthers is a really exciting matchup.
Definitely. So a bit about the Panthers and Seahawks. You're glad that the Seahawks are out, and you might also be glad that Russell Wilson was throwing interception after interception.
Love it.
I don't know if you saw that, but it was laughable.
In personal opinion, I'm not a big fan of the way he plays because I feel like he gets lucky a lot.
Oh,
he does. He gets lucky a lot.
I got it. I got this.
Yeah.
Read it too.
701, shots fired, shots fired.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Did you fire those same shots last week?
I think I did.
Yeah.
I think I might have said the same thing.
Yeah.
Because some games Russell Wilson will kind of be on his game, but then I think the whole team is just, it's insane, like the amount of luck sometimes. Like they'll be down in the game, trailing the whole game, and then on an onside kick. Like last year in the playoffs, they beat the Packers.
Right.
With an onside kick. It was like they had to have like 6 or 7 things successfully go a certain way in order for them to win that game, and they all did.
Who was it Marshawn Lynch that was injured prior to that game and came back for that game? Was it Marshawn Lynch?
I think so.
Against the Panthers.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. He was hurt going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of things too, another exciting storyline, and Mitch, you might be able to contribute a bit more to this one, is another Brady-Manning matchup.
Yeah, those are always good.
Again, and they're always great.
They're
I think they
always
split. This is the 5th one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
This is the final rubber match between the two of them because I think it might be the end
Split?
for Peyton Manning.
Oh yeah,
Is it split?
It's split 2-2.
Maybe, yeah.
In the
well, I
playoffs.
know the Patriots have never beat the Broncos on Broncos home turf.
Yeah.
So in the playoffs.
Right.
In the playoffs. But in the playoffs, they've Brady. I think Brady. I'm like 90% sure because I've read this a million times. But it's between 4 matchups. They've split 2-2.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. So this is. I think this is the 5th
yeah,
one.
I don't know. I can't remember if one is. I know one of them definitely is when Manning was with the Colts.
Yeah.
I don't know if both are. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
So there's only one thing to say.
But did they meet the year? Yeah, I think they did meet the year that
Broncos went to
the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Yeah, probably.
So that was the last beating.
Yeah,
in
so
Manning
that would
won.
have been. So one was Denver for Manning. The other was
and
Colts.
and it's really funny because the knock on the Broncos when they were in the Super Bowl was their lack of defense, and now you have a Broncos team that is the best defensive team in the league.
It's weird though. It's defense. It was offense. Well, last time
they had
around
the best
when the Super
offense.
Bowl,
Yeah.
when the Super Bowl came around, it was supposed to be best defense versus best offense, and then that Super Bowl was probably one of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah,
terrible.
And now it's a flip.
Now it's flip. Yeah.
Right.
Now it's their defense is killing it, and their offense can be questionable.
So
at times.
I feel like Manning's the wild card here. 'Cause
Yeah.
If Peyton Manning has a good game, I think the Broncos will take the Patriots.
Yeah.
It really depends.
Oh, you mean a good game against the Steelers? Or sorry, they already
against the Pats. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's this Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know.
Saturday.
Either Sunday or sometime the weekend.
It's the weekend. It's this weekend.
When does was it the Pro Bowl happen? Do they do that?
I think that happened right before the Super Bowl. Doesn't it?
Yeah, but I couldn't remember. Okay, yeah, that would make more sense.
Now this is something I usually do to Josh, but it's gonna be directed towards Mitch this weekend because
I get
he's our
a
special
break.
guest. So.
Mitchell Naftel predicts the Super Bowl matchup.
Okay. I'm glad you asked me that. I honestly think it's going to be Patriots and Cardinals.
Oh.
Exact opposite of what I want it to be.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's what I think it's going to be.
See, yeah.
I want it to be Broncos and Panthers, but I think it's going to be Patriots and Cardinals.
It's funny because I actually think the exact opposite.
Yeah?
I think it's going to be. I think the Panthers are going to beat the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think the Broncos beat the Pats.
I hope so. That's
Yeah.
because that's what I want it to be, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the other way around.
I would really like a Broncos and Cardinals fight. Like,
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Like, what do you think is going to be the most aesthetically pleasing matchup?
For me,
potential
the
matchup?
most aesthetically pleasing anything would just to see the Broncos win the Super Bowl because I would love to see Peyton Manning just finish his career now
And top
Oh,
roll,
yeah.
with finally with his win. Like,
Yeah. that'd
top
be-
roll Hail Marys only.
Yeah.
yeah. People just Hail Marys.
Yeah, it's just so hard to see Patriots losing like that. It's just they're so dominant.
Well,
Yeah.
what's this, the 5th in a row or 6th in a
don't-
row they've been to this far in the playoffs?
Probably,
In a
yeah,
row.
just something like that.
They're built for the postseason. It's one of those teams. It's like the Hawks in the NHL.
Yeah.
They're just that's where they shine.
I think the NFL overall drool over a Patriots Panthers
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
final because Panthers got all the hype, all the attention this year, and Patriots are the Patriots.
Panthers have like it's almost what Golden State's doing. It's capturing a whole new market of fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Polarizing a whole new bunch of people. We always talk about Cam Newton on the show.
Yeah,
Cam Newton
definitely.
and Tyson Fury
He
are
gets, he gets a lot of
mascots.
love on the show too. The thing though about the NFL is the difference. Like we get these other sports like hockey, like the NHL and NBA, where you can have a dynasty team that sticks around for a while. But I find it's hard. Like you do get it in the NFL,
I think I know where you're
but
going.
less so. Like it doesn't take a lot for like you see like a team like the Cowboys last year that looked so good, like they were doing so well, and then this year they lost like the two main players injured and they lost their running back. And then instantly, this team was just in the dumps. And it was like,
I could see two reasons that could possibly be behind that.
Yeah.
One, you get beat up during an NFL
Yeah,
season.
exactly.
Your team
Injuries
gets beat
are-
up.
That's what kills teams every year is injuries.
The sport focuses around running into each other essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, hockey does. It's an element, but it doesn't focus on it. That's
Yeah.
not. That's a
Was
main
it-
aspect.
was it us last
Sure.
week we were talking about the like average lifespan of certain
Yeah,
NFL
yeah. It
players?
was 4 years or something.
For running backs.
Yeah, NFL is a young man's game.
Yeah.
And running backs don't have long careers. Like they decline. I think before they even hit 30.
And that's where this whole conversation comes up with Peyton Manning. They're looking at his age and but when you see someone start to get older, it's different with quarterbacks. But
Yeah.
regardless
Yeah.
their position,
Yeah.
they're always like, he's getting older now. It's football we're talking about here. He's getting older, so it's always you want to bring that up when
It's
Quarterbacks can always stick around.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's the kind of thing when you get like Manning too. Now, when he gets hit, every time if he gets sacked,
You're
you
scared.
you gotta hold your breath for a second.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
is he getting back up okay? Every time.
You're more worried about because it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
And especially like now, actually, who's their backup quarterback?
Osweiler.
Osweiler?
I don't know. I don't know if his name right.
Yeah, but that's him. I know you're talking.
Yeah.
But he had a good game
He
against.
did. Well, he covered. Manning went out this year,
yeah,
right?
he was hurt for how long? It was,
I don't know. He missed a nice few games. I think they pretty much split the season, to be honest with you, actually. And he did his work too. He did his role.
Brock Osweiler.
There you go, Osweiler. Yeah.
Now, I think that's a wild card that the Broncos have too, because I think Brady, I don't know if it was Brady or Belichick that actually went on record saying it's a different preparation depending on who the quarterback is.
Oh, for sure.
A big deal
Definitely.
for the Pats going in against the Broncos. Like, if they know that it's Peyton Manning, they're going to play a completely different game.
Definitely.
So the Seahawks are gone. Does that mean I have to stop playing my sweet Seahawks sound drops?
No.
You can do it one more time.
They're still funny.
Okay, one more
Get
time.
them all out right now.
I think there's only one, but it's great.
I'm better at life than you.
That has to be one of my favorites.
Nah, you can do
Who's
that.
that now? Is that Marshawn Lynch? Or is that
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
No.
Or is that Richard Sherman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Richard Sherman.
I was gonna say that one sounds a bit brass for Lynch.
Yeah. Marshawn
I'm
Lynch
just
is
here
just
so I won't get fired.
he's a weird
They're
man.
all weird.
I like
Talk now. There's talk now of actually we were talking about like the short span of running
Of
backs.
careers, yeah.
Marshawn Lynch is already seeing his decline, and they're saying that he might not even be back with the Seahawks next year. Yeah.
I don't know. I can see him being a different team. He doesn't seem like that.
Yeah.
I
The
don't
fit's
know.
different now, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And they have I think they have a younger running back. They might they might bring up and run with because he had a pretty solid season.
Yeah, for sure.
But
So I'll give you one last chance. So your Super Bowl is the Cardinals versus the Patriots?
Yeah.
What's yours? We'll log it.
I think,
You said Panthers.
I said my ideal one. I think it's gonna be the one I want it. And the one I think is gonna be is completely different. The one that I think it's gonna be is gonna be the Panthers and the Broncos. I actually think I want the Cardinals in it though.
Right.
I like the Panthers and I like Cam Newton, but I just for some reason really like the Cardinals. And seeing them
Really?
beat Green Bay, I kind of want.
Yeah, so
I want them to go all the way.
It's the thing where like they beat my team, they better be
Yeah,
they better be the ones that win it. And
I
take it
usually
off.
I usually have a different outlook when it comes to that
Because you hate it's either one or the other.
Yeah.
I find like
Like
you
a lot-
either despise them for the whole playoffs and hope
Yeah.
they get beat up,
Yeah.
or be a bit more sensible about it and say like
Exactly.
they
Like,
better be the ones that win it.
I definitely wouldn't say that about the Seahawks. Like the Seahawks beat Packers last year, and I was like, I want the Seahawks to just go away.
Yeah.
But this, like, I actually like the Cardinals, and I think they're a good team. Going into it, I thought that they were going to win the game against the Packers anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the Packers made it an interesting game.
So the Patriots and the Cardinals will in the Super Bowl this year. I was waiting to drop that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you had that queued up and ready to go.
So we're just about ready for some more music. We are halfway through the show.
Yes, boy.
So we're gonna leave you
What are we playing now? What do we got here?
a bit of Winter Sleep with a
Winter
song
Sleep.
called Home.
Are the most exciting sequences of plays.
You're listening to the Clubhouse.
Oh,
This is the part of the show where we usually bring up our segments.
oh it's time.
Best segment, but it's not quite time yet. I want to
We're
bring
not
up...
doing it yet. Not yet.
He's out of his chair and everything.
Josh, you got a little overexcited.
I'm ready.
All right. Josh watched too much Star Wars. He's giving me a forced push motion.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold this until you're ready.
Okay, I want to bring up something from me and you did a show right after New Year's. Actually, I think that was the one Mitch was on.
Yeah.
And I got a sweet sound drop of you.
Oh really?
Would you like to hear it?
I'm not sure.
I would.
Just go for it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
How did I hit that? No.
That was the intro of our New Year's show.
How did I get there?
Sound like a Muppet.
So I found my new calling, guys. I'm the newest Muppet.
All right. Or that's what Darth Josh sounds like.
That's terrifying.
we
That's
in
scary.
Star Wars, we went in a different direction. You know how all the old Darths have like deep voices,
and like
we're
filters.
Going, yeah, we're
You
going.
just don't even wear a mask and
Yeah, he just screams.
or you wear a mask and that's what comes
in
out.
shrieking like hair standing pitches. Yeah,
All right.
Darth Muppet.
So now it's time for This Week in
Controversy.
There it is.
the best segment on the show.
That's what I was holding out for, by the way.
Yes, and
Yeah.
this week we're going to talk about a hot topic that's sweeping the NHL,
Yes.
sweeping the nation.
We mentioned this at the beginning of the show, and we're finally going to touch base with it. John Scott.
I feel like before we go into this,
Yeah.
as we expressed in the beginning of the show, a lot of respect for John Scott.
Yes. Well,
This isn't meant to demean him in any way.
not. And you know what? In all honesty, he has no fault
No.
in this whole controversial. He has absolutely zero fault.
Oh no.
So let's give
definitely
a little background
Yeah.
on the situation.
Okay, so in recent years, the NHL All-Star game, they have a tendency now they like to keep the fans involved. So like, and I mean, in the selection process about who goes, so they usually have the fans select like the captains or things like that. So this year, because of the introduction of the new 3-on-3 overtime format, they wanted to do a 3-on-3 kind of tournament in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And what they decided to do is divisionally split up each division in the league and have the captain of each division voted by the fans. Now, whether it was like trolling by fans or whatever, and yeah, like
see, a system like that, it's if you want to engage the fans, you're always taking that risk to be trolled by them. It's just how it works.
The unfortunate circumstance here is, I think the best thing for the NHL to have done right away was come out and say, regardless of that trade that happened, because John Scott was voted as the Pacific Division captain, because when he played for the Phoenix Coyotes or Arizona Coyotes now.
Yes,
I'm old school. The youngest team in the league. Anyway, the Arizona Coyotes. What was I lost my train of thought for a second. But he was voted the captain of the Arizona Coyotes, and as from the fan vote. And after that was all said and done, he was then traded from Arizona to Montreal and instantly set down to the AHL.
Now, wait, before the trade even happened, he was getting pressured to back out, to decline the invitation.
And this was from who?
From the organization? From the league?
From the media. From a lot of the media were giving him pressure, saying, I'm seeing a lot of analysts and well-known guys say if John Scott has any respect, he should haul out or back out and decline the invitation.
It's an interesting conversation.
No,
this is an interesting conversation. Like, is it respectful to let better players play, or is it respectful to, or do you take an opportunity which is given to you?
No, I feel like if you are the media,
if you're voted in,
if you were the media, the NHL, any one of these entities, I think you keep your mouth shut properly. Like, you keep your mouth shut if someone like this gets voted, because you had the power to set up any parameter of how this was going to go in the first place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it comes back and bites you, and if you feel like it shouldn't have gone this way, you got to respect the decision that was made.
Oh, yeah.
You gave that power to the fans. The fans they made that choice. You got to respect those decisions. Go ahead.
In a sense, keep your word.
Exactly. And for John Scott, you don't know, like, it's unfortunate to say this, but you don't know how much longer he's going to be in the NHL for.
Right.
No.
Well, guys, I actually have a quote from John Scott.
Yeah.
I don't know what article I got it from, but it's from some article on Facebook. It's one of those things where I never thought I'd be able to get to go. So when I found out it was a possibility, my family was like, "You have to go. It's going to be so cool." They're excited for it, probably more excited than I am. It'll be one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences. So this guy is an average hockey player. He's nothing like super special all-star.
Nope.
So, like, why would you take that away from him? That's such a sin. Like, just, he got this opportunity through the fans, trolling or not. But, like, obviously from that quote, his family and his loved ones and, like, himself was looking forward to the opportunity, because it's true, he would never have, trolling or not, he never would have had this chance.
No.
So
If this was league based, he wouldn't be there.
Exactly. But the part that bothered me was it was almost like the guilt. It was the guilt that was thrown in by the media. You were saying, like, certain media was saying, like, if you have respect for this, you would drop, like, you would take yourself out of it. Get out of here.
I believe we've had a conversation on this show before about how the All-Star game has just become kind of a thing for kids anyways. It's not it's not taken seriously at all. Like, it's nothing extremely special. It's just for kids, so you can see all the big players do their moves and stuff. So what's the issue with letting an average player play? Like, it doesn't make a difference in the grand scheme of things. It's not about respect.
Too. Like, the NHL, if they're really looking at this as seriously as it looks they have, like, in the media, like, they're really anti him getting in, like, do they actually hold the All-Star weekend up on such a big pedestal?
Yes,
like, do they actually think
it,
like, but yeah, I guess that's the thing they're trying to do.
But they do because it's
they're making an effort to make it a respectable thing.
The thing about the All-Star game for the NHL, though, is they hold it up on that pedestal because it is a big thing for promotion of the sport. It's always been promotion of sport in other places where it's especially, and I think that's probably another reason why, like, this is all speculation. It could be a reason why the NHL didn't like the idea of having John Scott representing the Arizona Coyotes, because this is a team too. Like, the Arizona Coyotes are also a team that has always had issues in their market.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you want someone like, I think they want someone like Max Domi or one of these like really skilled players, impressive players to represent that team and bring more fans to it.
Right.
I think we gave Max Domi some love on the show last
He's
week
beast.
as well.
Yeah, he's
I really
sick.
like him.
Wicked player.
Very inspiring.
Yeah. But the thing is, too, also, even for fans of the sport, you're watching it. Like, I feel like John Scott will still he'll even impress, I think, at the All-Star game.
Oh, yeah.
Because any NHL player is going to impress. These they're already, if you have the ability to play in the NHL, you're already a step beyond. Like, you have skill that's beyond everybody else.
Right. And you have the opportunity to do that in the All-Star game as well, because a lot of the stars, especially the big ones, they don't play hard.
Yeah.
In the game, you're not expected to go out there and get that All-Star MVP title.
I can't. Go ahead.
There's nothing on the line.
No, not at all.
Not a thing. It's pure exhibition.
Yeah, it's just this is a media and fan fest. That's all it is. And like every year, NHL are grasping at straws. Like, how can we make this better? How can we draw more people in? How can I make it more interesting? Because it is fading from what it used to be.
It is.
All right, so I got a question for you guys here now. Do you think there's any main key audience for the All-Star game outside of what we said before, with kids voting their favorite players in and tuning in to see the best players just in a circus against each other? Do you think there's any main appeal?
No. This year, I think this year with the new 3-on-3 will draw some.
Yeah, I guess, there's that. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think they'll see a really big spike this year in viewership because this whole John Scott situation. I think this boosts everything for him. Like, it looks it looks bad on the NHL, but yet benefits the NHL in the same
in a greasy way.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited to see John Scott, Statsuki, and Deke in the breakaway competition.
Man, if I'm on his team, I work to try and get him the most points possible.
Oh, definitely.
I even say like John, just go to the net. Get anything you can in. Get your stick in the way. Screen the goalie. We're looking for you.
I can see that happening too.
I really hope that John Scott just like shows everyone up and he's like, "Yep, I got voted in, and I'm gonna prove that I."
That'd be really cool.
That'd be so awesome. It would be a really feel good story. I think
they're just missing. They're just missing a fighting competition.
Yeah.
Because if there was a fighting competition, John Scott would hands down just take it.
If there was a fighting competition, everyone, let alone hockey fans, would be watching.
Exactly.
You want your All-Star situation to have appeal? That's how to do it.
Yeah, fighting competition.
So if you're listening in NHL...
Just turn it into a boxing match. Just turn the game into a boxing match. See what happens. You'll get lots of viewers. Come on, NHL. This is my advice.
If you're listening, you know all that stuff about concussions? Yeah, just throw that out the window.
That's fine. Yeah, the game's in a transition now anyway. You're going to see a lot less fighting in the game anyway.
Yeah. No, but I give mad props to John Scott because it's the kind of thing, too, it all depends on how you handle it as a person, and I think he handled it the best way possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Most possible. He came out as the good guy in this, and John Scott was never really the good guy. He was
Do you remember the Kessel?
Yeah, the whole thing.
The preseason Kessel thing.
John Scott was never a good guy. He was more of a, like, on, I say, the other spectrum more than anything, because he was the guy that was supposed to beat up your team. He was the guy who was supposed to take...
So
now he's kind of like a folk hero because of
Yeah.
So do you think from this there's any backpedaling on like representation on how the NHL thinks it looked through this whole mess? Because from Gary Bettman himself, in quotes, never any doubt over John Scott participating in the All-Star game.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
See, I feel like that is...
Never any doubt.
I feel like that right there is a timely PR move to say, oh, we're going back on what we said.
Because they realized how bad it looked.
Yeah.
Time to make us look a bit better.
Yeah.
Because none of this looked bad on John Scott.
Don't let anyone else say it but the commissioner.
And I can understand why the NHL would say, and at a certain point, why like we can't have John Scott in the All-Star game, because he's not in the league anymore, and he's not even in the same conference or division or team that he was voted in by, like, you know.
Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing with, like, you'd think
that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, definitely. Yeah. That's where you can see where they're coming from. But the whole story and the whole, like, you got to give him justice for, like...
Yeah, I think the media blew that out of proportion too, because I don't think this was the first time a player was traded.
No, I don't think it was either.
Traded and being in the All-Star game and still played like they still played.
Yeah.
Like it was never an issue before. It shouldn't have been an issue again.
It's just because it was John Scott, because in any other circumstance he probably shouldn't be there. But at the same time, he was voted in. He took the ball and ran with it. So give it to him. Don't take that from him. That's not fair.
Do you think Montreal and Arizona are kind of victims here too, in the sense that do you think like it was just by accident, just like, oh, he's in the trade, and then this just firestorm happened?
I don't know. There's rumors saying that NHL were pressuring Arizona
to make a trade,
to make that trade, to include John Scott in a trade, and Arizona was pushing Montreal to make sure John Scott was part of that trade. So now they're all denying that.
It seemed like a match made in heaven, because Jared Tenorti was this is a younger defenseman who's rotting away in the press box in Montreal.
Yeah,
like he wasn't sent down. He wasn't playing in the AHL. He was in the NHL, but he was as a press box player. He never plays. I don't know how many games he played this season, but it was a very small number.
Yeah,
and you think that at that point, like the way this all came together, you got to think that maybe Jared Tenorti pushed for a trade a little bit, or his agent was like, we got to get him out of here because he's not playing. And then that was opportunistic on Arizona's part. Maybe they had a bit of pressure from the league, who knows, to trade John Scott, and it just happened out that way. Because it was a three-way trade. It was really weird how it worked out.
Yeah, no, that was a really weird...
And it wasn't for any big...
No, it was just a random movement trade that didn't affect much of anything anywhere.
AHLers and seventh defensemen.
Yeah.
Question for you guys. Do you think, depending on how he does in this All-Stars game, do you think he'll get called back up? Do you think it's dependent on his performance in this All-Star game? Do you think it's dependent on the ice caps? I
don't think... I think the ice caps would have more of a bearing. I don't think the All-Star game has any bearing whatsoever, because it's all just a show, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like, players aren't actually playing competitively. They're playing to show off skill.
They're playing for a show.
It's like a game of shinny hockey that we play on pond ice on a Saturday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just have fun with it.
It's like a carnival. It's a hockey carnival.
You got like Carey Price like using the glass and his back's turned to the play. And he's like trying to make a save.
Yeah, you don't. And there's like unwritten rules, like you don't take hard slap shots. You don't take shots when someone's in your lane.
Yeah,
you don't hit.
You don't hit.
You don't fight.
You don't even go full speed.
Yeah.
So
you don't get hurt.
Now we're gonna get into a tiny bit of Tyson Fury at the end of the show, but I want to play you guys a funny thing that emerged within the past week or so. With have you heard about the Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan little press thing that went on?
No.
I'm gonna play the clip.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
All right.
I'm trying to walk out of here 1-3. Honestly, you play 3 games. This will be my 3rd game here.
So 1 and 2.
You know, no, I don't. No, wait.
If you play 2 games and you add 1, that means
3 games.
Yeah, but you said 1 and 3.
If we win,
1-4-3.
1-4-3. 1-4-3 or 1 and 2?
That's what I meant.
1-4-3. Oh, 1 for 3.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
USC, baby.
Those guys are one of my favorite backcourts in the NBA.
Yeah, they're great characters too.
Yeah, they're good guys to rally around,
and they're great players.
And you think you'll never need to know math after high school?
No.
Can't even count to 3.
Oh, that's what I meant.
I think DeRozan did mean 1 and 3. But
yeah,
he didn't realize like they're 1-4-3. It's not equivalent as 1 and 3.
Yeah, but this was after game 2, and he's beat.
He's probably tired.
He wants to go home, man.
Yeah.
He wants to have a rest. But those are 2 guys that are definitely getting into the NBA All-Star game.
They both are?
I think so.
Is Lowry? Because I know
Lowry should be.
Because I thought he was out a little ways off, so everyone was like pushing hard to get him up there.
Yeah, TSN posted an article saying, get the votes on the go if you want these guys in.
I mean, so how does the NBA All-Star team... Is it a vote? Is it a fan vote as well?
Vote. It's literally vote your guy in. Okay,
so is there like a certain list of players that they can vote from, or is it anyone?
No, it's anyone, man. It is anyone. But
so it's the same thing as the NHL, and yet
for
you
example,
get this John Scott thing. You don't get.
There's one way in which the mechanism works.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. Kobe Bryant's getting in the All-Star game this year.
But that makes sense.
Yeah.
In a way,
it's his last. It's his last. I think he just deserves to be there. The fact that he's had one of the greatest careers.
He's a legend.
Because that's definitely one of the ways where you can justify people getting voted in.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if he didn't play an All-Star game like his last season, or he wasn't voted in at least.
Yeah. He's got to be there as a farewell kind of thing. I think for the fans and stuff. Like it's good to have him there.
It's really weird watching. I keep saying this, but it's really weird watching Lakers games now.
Yeah.
Because he's smiling at everything. Like a ref gives a call against him, and he smiles. He's like, that's fine, man.
Yeah. He's like, this is my last season. Like he's there to have fun now in his last season, I think.
Right.
Like Kobe throughout his career is the most serious dude ever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how you know he's ready to go.
Yeah.
That he's at peace with it, which is a good thing because it's done worse than a player kind of has to leave kicking and screaming.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of
Like
gets a little sad.
Vince Carter's still in the league.
What happens to the Lakers now?
They're a young team that will need to make heavy adjustments once Kobe Bryant's gone.
Yeah. They'll have
because he gets a lot of minutes right now.
Yeah.
And he's taking up a lot of minutes, and he's not doing good things with those minutes.
No.
So they're going to have to make a couple adjustments.
Do you think they're a better
They're going to have
team?
to do something with the money that they get
Yeah.
from the absence of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. Do you think they're a better team now, next year, starting next year, without Kobe Bryant in the lineup at this stake in his this state?
That's an interesting question. See,
you know what I mean? Like, you take him out of the lineup and replace him with
plus
players
minus.
that are younger, and so. But with the way he's been playing, do you think that they instantly become like they're improved already?
I say no.
No.
Yeah.
I say no.
Because the thing with Kobe Bryant is, even though his like because of age and where he's at in his career, his skills diminishing.
But he still brings those intangibles.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he also is just it's almost like he's owed those minutes. And he's owed being the star of the team. Like, he's not going to take us a back seat to somebody else who's up and coming.
Which is what I like about Vince Carter. Vince Carter's a guaranteed Hall of Famer, and he's playing on the Grizzlies now, and he's completely fine coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And which is awesome. Because,
Good
if you want to
right?
keep playing in the league, and he's like...
You want to keep winning.
He recognized... Yeah, exactly, right? And the Grizzlies are going to the playoffs this year, and you can't, to step back and just recognize that you're not in your prime anymore. Not saying that Kobe's in the wrong here, because he's one of the greatest of all time.
Kobe just always being that guy.
Yeah, he is the Los Angeles Lakers within the past couple of years.
He owns that team. He runs that team.
Yeah.
That's a completely different team when he's gone. Even if he's not playing, if he's just not being there, that's a completely different team.
The Lakers is such a treasured NBA franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they need to...
Just look at the big names that played for them over the years.
They need to get on the go, once he's gone, man. Imagine if they get KD.
Now, you wanted to touch on Tyson Fury.
Yes.
For a second, because we're right low on time now.
Yeah, so after the knockout from the Deontay Wilder, I will say it again, Artur Szpilka.
Yes! Yes! I love it.
After the knockout, Tyson Fury invaded the ring on Showtime Championship Boxing, and I will play that clip.
Yeah.
It's pretty aggressive.
Listen, there's only one Tyson Fury. What you got to say about that, Deontay? What you got to say about that, my man?
Hold on a second. Let's keep this civil here. Would you like to fight?
We all know Fury. You just a phony, man. This is just for act. You know where I am. You know what time. You know what place. I ain't scared of nobody. I'll come in your backyard, baby, for that, my man. I promise you that.
Anytime,
when you up in the ring with a real fighter, when you in for a real fighter, that's what it's all about, man.
Squad, no bother, no bother. Listen, anytime, any place, anywhere, I'll fight you in your back garden like I've done Klitschko. I'll beat you, you bum. You're a bum.
Booze.
So that's that.
Jesus loves the world.
I am a huge fan of Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
He's got a few
Seriously.
He's a good person. He's a good personality in the sport, I think.
Fantastic.
You always need one, and they've been needing one in the heavyweight division for the longest time.
And both of those guys are good personalities, actually. Deontay, not... Now, we say this before, Tyson's not the most educated guy in the world, so he'll slip up and say something dumb every now and then. Deontay's kind of more reserved. He's kind of... But he's a guy built for those 24/7 all-access shows.
Yeah. So that'll be a good one. If they have one for that fight.
That should happen. Now, both of those guys, I'm pretty sure, are faced with mandatories. Yeah. Actually, Tyson gave up his mandatory. That's where that interview came from last week.
Yeah.
So he's facing Klitschko again. And Deontay Wilder is facing probably another mandatory. So it'll maybe be a year. I hope that fight happens. I hope that fight comes to fruition because that's something that definitely the fans want to see.
It's exciting.
And
he's so excited.
And he's so loud, and that's something that gets attention. That's something that made SportsCenter believe.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's that.
Pity he didn't sing another song.
Did he sing a song? No, he did not. Yeah, because they took the mic away from him. He grabbed the mic right at the end. I'll tweet out the video at Clubhouse CHMR. And I'm pretty sure that brings us to the end of the show.
Yes. Speaking of him singing the song, let's play one last one.
And this last one, actually, thanks Mitch for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks, Katie, for doing a great job with the boards.
As always, I'm perfect.
Thanks, Katie's mom, for communicating with us and talking through text.
Even though it wasn't on Twitter, Clubhouse CHMR.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. See you next week.
Jesus loves the world.
Bingo game is ready to roll. Take me to the dance. Kick up your heels. It happened.